Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. Today for our herbal selection, we have a little bit of yerba santa, as well as I threw in some patchouli, which is one of my favorites. I know it's a little bit too intense for many, but it is a very earthy herb. Which one isn't? It grows from the earth. However, it's really related to the material plane, and a lot of people will use it for things such as manifestation of material abundance, for one. So let's go ahead and cleanse our space once again. We've got our Lady of Guadalupe candle burning and kicking, setting our space and intentions for the highest vibrations and reading here. We've got a couple of cards laid out. Gratitude for you for tuning in. So I've laid out quite a few cards, and as you know, if you've watched me before, I have a lot to say about all of them. So I'm going to give an attempt at pulling cards as a bulk, how they flew out. So let's start out with the love notes from the universe on love and connection. I believe all the decks are listed below. The card that flew out is change is always good. Actually, the only effective way of changing another person is by changing yourself. Works every time, guaranteed. Though I'm kind of partial to the way you are right now. Tally ho, the universe. That's good. We'll use that as a presiding energy. So change, something changing. And we'll see how that comes through in all of the messages, but I'm seeing here that we're making space for the new. We've already completed a major lesson, and as we transmute that experience and all of the fallout from that situation or that recognition, it's like as we come into awareness, knowledge of something specifically, then all of a sudden the information that isn't connected to the progressive thought pattern, if that makes sense. So the outdated information falls to the wayside, and that's, I'm seeing a broom sweeping it up, symbolically cleaning up, and tidying house came up quite a bit in the pre-shuffle. Just real quick, I'll read these in just a second. The ones on the top and the bottom of the deck talks about the size of your heart and your ability to love. And our first card on the code cards out today was Universal Love, number 44. But briefly, I just wanted to, even though this is intended as a timeless reading, at the time of this broadcast, the energies through the cosmos, I took a look at the astrology this morning. We've just passed the full moon, which is where sun and moon are in opposition, and now the moon is coming to the last quarter before coming back into the new phase. So this is the time, the full moon is where there's some type of recognition, realization, the fallout that we're talking about, where things start to be put into the new context, released, and brought into this cycle of the new moon for new beginnings. I see that my audio is a bit delayed. I hope that doesn't distract or detract from the message too much. And I am looking out here. We've got the pole barn open to all of nature, so hopefully that won't be too distracting. I don't know if you can hear my roosters crowing in the background. Here we go. So we've also got the sun is right at 9 degrees of Gemini. So we're still in that, the last bit of the first third, called the first decan or decan, however you want to pronounce it. And Venus is at 7 degrees of Gemini. So the sun has just passed over Venus and is moving beyond. Jupiter has just entered the sign. It's at 1 degree. And so with those three in early Gemini, it's creating an abundance, an exponential amount of communication, both from beyond the cosmic influx is really coming through. You could be doing quite a bit of work in your dream space or in your visioning, whether you're thinking of things in your quiet times, your commute time, or in your space and time between one thing and the next, or in your flow state when you're working on things. This could be a time where much is coming up for recognition and realization and putting things into context here. So this is typically going to be in regards to interpersonal relationship dynamics, the people in our lives, family, friends, coworkers, and lovers, and otherwise, as well as just strangers that we meet. But the way that we are and the way we show up, the influence that we have, the impact, are we intimidating? Are we inviting? A lot of us will find ourselves attracting strangers that want to tell us quite a bit beyond the normal interaction that a stranger would have, and so on. And those type of things can be coming up for us. So pay attention in your exchanges. There could be some divinely, spontaneously delivered tidbits or synchronicities through these exchanges with strangers, even in the things that we perceive about them or that come into our mind in relationship to them, or so on. They might remind us of somebody. So we also have Mercury is at 22 degrees of Taurus and Uranus is at 24. So Mercury moves so fast. It's close enough right now to begin unlocking the higher mind. So Mercury represents our day-to-day exchanges, our short commutes, our daily exchanges. And it's the ruler of Gemini. And so Mercury will be heading into Gemini in short order. I don't have the date at hand, very soon, probably about a week or so. And then we have the Uranus is actually the higher octave of Mercury. So where Mercury is the daily thoughts, then Uranus takes that to the transpersonal of mediumship, channeling, spontaneous divine insights by watching things like nature. The things that come into our mind are our guidepost for whatever we're searching for and seeking. And in Taurus, these things are talking about the body's memory, the body's ability to speak to us about what our needs are, being able to create balance in our lives is one of the main crucial indicators, is our body's well-being, the way that we feel. And I'm just seeing there's these flowers, several of them in my garden, that instantly, if they're not instantly, very quickly, they will start showing these little white spots if the water quality isn't quite what it needs. And I do have hard water here out in the country, and so I can usually see these petunias and some of my salvia and some of my impatiens showing these little spots on the leaves and everything. And so then I need to add some food in with my water to counterbalance the excessive and deficient vitamins and minerals and supplements for the plant. In the same way, our body can be in that way, such as if we've been reading for a long time in the dark and our eye strain gives us a bit of a headache, or if stress is giving us bad feeling in our stomach. A lot of people hold a lot of tension in their stomach. A lot of people will hold a ton of stress in their back, in various spots in the back. So how is the body speaking to us about our needs is a big one here. And lastly, we mentioned this in yesterday's broadcast, which as we speak 24 hours later is still uploading. I have a bit of issue trying to get these uploaded. So if anybody has any suggestions, feel free to reach out. I am not the techie one, but I would absolutely love to make this more efficient, because if I could have multiple things uploading, I could do more readings, which is one of the reasons I only have been doing one a day during the weekdays, most days. So I could go into this much further, but the one thing I wanted to also give a little bit of attention and airtime to is the asteroid Vesta. Vesta is the inner sacred flame, the purity that resides within, that spark of divinity at our core. And yesterday we talked a lot about the gut brain and how that body is speaking through us and to us. So that inner flame in the sign of Cancer at about 21 degrees is showing up in square to the Mars and Chiron conjunction happening in late Aries at 22 and 23 degrees, which is about taking action on our either from our wounded nature or from our healed state. We'll see that amongst the collective who's still in their more in-depth healing state, and who have progressed and are out there trying to exhibit their higher side. And how far have we all met our shadow and integrated it with our presence and our influence and our ability to intend our highest in this world? And are we conduits of healing for self, or are we ignoring the body's needs and then coming into the world unable to receive? These are things coming up today. And then we have a sextile to the connection of Uranus and Mercury in Taurus. So that spontaneous higher mind is speaking to us about our abundance in relation to how our body is a pre-indicator of the prosperity we're willing and able to receive based on the amount of self-care and many other things. And it is trine to the placement of the moon. And the moon is all about our intuitive feminine ability. So if we're too busy and distracted or stressed or unhealthy in all of these ways, we won't really be able to be that open and ready to receive vessel, the open cup of the feminine, ready to receive the masculine lightning bolt of clarity and insight and illumination in our lives. So at this time, our intuition is asking us to be the bridge between the perspectives of where we've been and the limitless potential of where we're going. All right, so all of that, let's get into the cards. The first one, as I said, let's start at the beginning. I'm picking up the other one. As I said, we had 44, universal love. So that unconditional love with self, the appreciation and gratitude for where we're at, where we've been, and our higher intentions, as well as our ability to receive from the universe. So it activates our connection that we feel towards each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. So are we in that mindset and our ability to really perceive of the magic around us? I know from day to day it can shift and change, but yesterday was about choosing the wave that we're ready to ride that day and how that culminates. The card clarifying that is 28, hollow bone, teachability. And this is the empty vessel, ready and willing and able to receive. And it's this musical instrument coming down from the, I want to say, the cosmic brain, that empty vessel, that skull of whatever it is, moose, caribou. Honestly, humbly, I don't know the difference. However, this is the ability for us to connect the dots. And then as I was clarifying, I did get a few more on either side here to clarify that. The first one out was 51, stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. talking about our ability to really tap in. And it was reminding me of something that came out in the cards recently. Has a depiction of an individual on the top of a mountain in a similar pose, and it shows an outer skin almost falling to the wayside, as though it was just a chrysalis. The human form was falling away, and this illuminated light being dragonfly energy was birthing forth from that depiction. And this card immediately called that to my attention. And it was talking about how something that has recently happened has really helped us to reconnect to our divinity, to our cosmic roots, and to draw in new inspiration and a new level of perseverance that has potentially come through our awareness of and forgiveness of, dare I say, both self and other in the exchanges, and how we all have so much to learn. And I'm tingling now with the recognition of universal love in our teachability here, saying that we humbly acknowledge that we also have much to learn. And maybe these people appear to be in a different mind state or lower, more negative cycle than us, perhaps, but that doesn't mean that that they haven't learned an absolute ton while they've been in their situation. And so if we can just release our judgment from that and become aware that just because this person started here and went here, and we may have started here where it looks like their new is, and now we're here, they may have also accomplished as much, but been on that different trajectory where they had these other lessons and have to do their own course correction. Not saying that we're all immersed in judgment, but that it's part of the human dimension calling forth our ability to embody that higher vibrational state, that transformation, that dragonfly transformation into the light body here, and to call forth more prosperity here. It's like our ability to embody that new evolved persona is actually teaching these other people, though we may not really understand that it is. We might see that as others being triggered or challenged by us, or vice versa, us being challenged by them. However, there's a great deal of inspiration and growth happening from these situations. And I'm hearing that it's about to be exponential growth because we've just passed that completion point. So the next cards, 4 of them popped out all as a group. So we'll take a look at them as a group. So it's sitting in front of you, I would say, because the stars in the limitless possibilities, stars in the sky happens behind the universal love. It's like the hope and the innocence and that inner divine spark in you seems as though you have been tapped into this potential for a long time, whether or not you've slid back into patterns or not, or had your challenges, really feeling that you've been activated in your highest. You actually have. And you are this bridge between one cliff and the next. There's a gulf so-called below you, and you are this, perhaps taking some type of leadership role here into your vessel with this transformative light body activation that you seem to be calling forth. And I would suggest that it's potentially happening through your dream state. I think that many of us will agree that we wake up so tired from one day to the next, having these exchanges in our dream space that it's like we work during the day and then we work in our dream state. And trust the process, trust that whether it comes through as helpful or challenging, that this is part of your limitlessness. And I have this shirt, my friends bought it for me. It says, fear less. I absolutely love it. Thanks to my buddies, if they're watching. Got it in Sedona. So something about going to sacred sites, your sacred site, cleansing yourself before bed and after you've awakened, setting your space for meditation and rebalancing your energies can be very helpful. Journaling your dreams. I just got a gut impulse when I said that. So here are the cards that popped out in front of you. 13, Dream Thief, refusal of the call. And this to me was why we were talking about perhaps our judgments of some other being a challenge to us or us being a challenge to them. There's some kind of discomfort or intimidation factor with our ability to stay the course, to achieve something crucial, to stay centered in our limitlessness, in our transformative nature. That ability to rewrite our own story in our DNA and to continue to achieve is there may be someone who is either from the past or continuing in our lives that challenges this, that's challenged by that success. But directly below that, I'll show you all 4 of these, and this may be a good thumbnail for the video. I was seeing this, I'll get my fingers out of the way here. So check this out. So we've got the crystal ball from the Dream Thief here with the giveaway here. And then we've got the soul retrieval card, which is coming out quite a bit like that dragonfly imagery. And then we have the hunter down here. So I will put these down. And what I'm seeing is that giveaway card, 13 to the 23, there's some kind of quantum leap, and that giveaway is almost like give it to them, let them have it. If they are in their state, no judgment, let them have their peace. But whatever somebody tries to project onto you, just give it back to them. That's their medicine. Their negativity is their medicine. It is not for you any longer. It's a toxin when it's a projection, even if it's somebody gassing us up, so by us putting things back together, that tidy house imagery comes through, that Vesta being in connection with all of those items, as well as being opposite to Ceres in Capricorn. It's about keeping the sacred fires sacred. And as we put things back into their place, symbolically speaking, we're actually giving them their projections back and taking back our peace from that situation, from that externalization. And as both individuals have their own energy, that's where we take in our shadow and our light, our emotional resonance and how it feels in our body, and we are repairing ourselves. We are shedding the chrysalis, taking that cathartic healing from that, which sometimes is quite painful, and then being ready and willing and able to seek for where our path leads us. It's like this ability for us to really wear the energy of what we're pulling through into ourselves through this limitless possibilities, and rejuvenating and refreshing the self. And it's not about others, it's about the self. So the second row has 3 cards here. Soul time, that was clarified with eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. the ability to see through situations, coming out with discernment. Look at how that eye, I love it when the eyes of the eagle shows with discernment. Discernment coming right under universal love. Is it loving? Is it kind? Is it necessary? And our ability to, oh yes, and the soul time looks like the beak. So being able to grab our nourishment, to speak, our bird song has come through. So whether that's some kind of, the eagle is often depicted with this empowering victory type of a shriek, empowered and intimidating. But I've heard that the eagle's true sound isn't as magically or melodic, whatever the word may be. And lastly, we have prosperity here, which is a great card. And the ones on either side of that, between discernment and prosperity, we have another fallout here. It looks like 5 cards. So this came through very interestingly. So it's in this discernment process, the release and creating that open and ready to receive vessel by taking the soul time, creating sacred space for self, tidying up our environments here, putting things in right order, helps us to raise that vibrational resonance, to be able to oversee, to be able to take our mentorship, our leadership position, to fear less and to do so much of the work with less of the efforting. It's like doing the work passively through dream state. It's quite energetic work. So here, after that discernment and under this whole fallout with Dream Thief, Giveaway, Soul Retrieval, and Hunter, it's like really being able to kind of like see the fallout and sweep that up and put it out, and then to not step over the pile every day, but to, brush it outside and put it in its proper place and let it be compost and fertility, and to have our clean space. So here we have the wind, and I'm seeing this as the sweeping away. And on the symbolic level, I love a windy day to refresh my energy. I ask the elementals and the wind to come through and inspire and uplift and give me that surge of brushing away any dust from my aura and from my being. But it was also coming through as potentially an individual. Okay, for some of us, it's going to be somebody in this earthly realm, a friend coming through that cares for you very deeply, maybe somebody from your deeper past that doesn't have to be somebody you see or talk to on a basis, but somebody that's coming through with reminders or fresh energy. But it's also coming through as potentially for some of us, someone we have in spirit. It can be somebody coming through your dream space. And this can be one of those essences of ancestor or loved one or spirit in general, speaking through either the friend or the stranger that you meet, being able to help us to brush away the debris of the day, to re-stabilize and uplift our spirits, to buoy and bolster the bobber of our well-being, and to lift us up from the heavier energies that can come through. It's like just when we're feeling fear or doubt, then somebody comes in and says, hey, have you taken good care of yourself today? Hey, how you doing? And so this is also that dream space, somebody coming through, possibly a feminine energy. I'm seeing some Isis energy here, goddess energy. Look that up if that's meaningful for you. Then we have the Wild Woman card. Absolutely love this. There was a time it came up quite a bit. So that's 62 and 63. So it may be mother-daughter. It may be sisterhood, older sister, younger sister, or something such as that. But they are helping you to reach for your highest, to have faith, hope, love, and to restore your energy. And with that breath of fresh air, that new surge of wind, it's like being able to call your authentic self to the forefront and to really get in touch with what needs to shift and change in your life. Next, we have thunder. Yes, the rumble of thunder, 56 coming up. It's like, yes, that's where I'm at. That's what I need. And it's almost like the foreshadowing that comes when we hear does the lightning comes first. It's like the flash of lightning. It's the flash of insight with Uranian cosmic influences spontaneously coming in, activating some type or triggering some type of neuron, and then the rumble of the thunder comes next due to how far it is away, how much needs to come through is different for all of us, but it's stirring up some really great energy to stay on task, to believe in your path and in your journey and in yourself. And it's like you're running with a pack of bison, or this can also be those elements coming through the dream space, being the record keepers of the earth, such as an earth guardian, such as elephants. I see bison as the same type of an energy, different but similar. I'm running out of time as usual. Then we have dust devil, moving out of stagnation, coming over thunder, and in the hand, the universe is your partner. These are those synchronicities restabilizing our hope and faith from the center of this cloud of perhaps triggering or dust or anything else. Do you see how that yellow is actually, as the wind comes through, that call or that dream comes through, it shifts all of this energy perhaps overnight, and then we're shown the gift in our hand, and it's our ability to shake it all off and get rid of that debris and release and transmute and invite in the emptiness that says, yes, I'm ready for the new. I'm ready for the new beginning. What it doesn't serve, release it. And then our hands are open and ready to receive the gift that's at the center, at the core of the dust devil, by putting things in their proper place, by cleaning house energetically, socially, however it happens, literally in your home and in the vessel, taking good care. And after the prosperity card, we got initiation, the crossing, which is very similar to the bridge that you are being here. Can I finish this? And then we got drifter, experiencing life as it comes, with the many masks card, being able to be in the emotional flow state and being able to adapt instead of wearing masks, adapting your energy to be like more of a chameleon. It's not a mask. It's you immersing with your multiple skills into any situation and being what it calls for. Alchemy at the bottom of the code card deck. And then at the bottom of the shamanic decks, I had several that wanted to show. Horned cactus, fool's embrace, transmuting pain, magician's sword, confidence in your magic, eye of the needle, making it through that passageway, lost compass, back to your integrity, tidy house, clarity and organization, and medicine wheel. So if you caught all that, that is about us really making it through a powerful transition. And this is bringing in our abundant state.